Q&A time. Well, it's Q&A time. I posted a few statuses on Facebook and Instagram asking for your questions because it's been a very long time since I've done a Q&A. But first of all, a little update on everything that's going on. Sorry for the lack of videos. I've been pretty busy, and when I have been fishing, I've been going on Main Lake, which, as you know, I'm doing a big blog at the end of the year. One of the questions from my posts on Facebook did say, when are you going to be seeing my new PB from Main Lake? And it's going to be one big video at the end of the year. Update on the Main Lake video. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit different than planned. Main Lake and Hunt Street Complex is currently closed. Unfortunately, it's been confirmed to have KHV in the Main Lake, and as it stands, I believe about 30 fish or more have died. So really not good signs at Main Lake. It's kind of not only scuppered my plans, but loads of anglers, and really do wish that all the best for the place and that the management team can do their best. It's not good news because it's one of my local fisheries and I've only just started on it really. So hopefully things will clear up, but with KHV it's not the best of news, unfortunately. So I'm probably going to compile all the footage I've done so far and make the video and put it out, because the likelihood of fishing it in the near future is pretty slim, unfortunately. So that's that one cleared up. And also, if you've been following me on Facebook and Instagram and things, you'll have seen I've just got back from a session on Redmire. I've given the all clear to film there, so I've filmed. I've just got to show the owner to make sure it's all kosher and finally go live. So stay tuned for that. I'm really looking forward to doing the edit. I haven't started yet, but we had an amazing time, and if you've ever fished there before, you know how magical the place is, and if you haven't, I fully recommend trying to get a session on there and watch Passion for Angling and things like that, because it's kind of the pinnacle of carp fishing in this country, I feel. So privileged to fish there, and I managed to fish. We had a few fish in the video, so keep your eyes peeled. That'll be going live soon. I'm going to start off on Facebook and work my way through them, and then I'll move on to Instagram. Jack O'Neill, one rig, one bait, one lake for the rest of your life. Quite a lot of questions about rigs and baits and things, so if you've asked the same sort of question, I'll cover it now. One rig, I guess it would just have to be a bog standard hair rig, because most lakes, they're going to catch a fish eventually, even if this is quite hard to catch on them. It's a simple rig and it covers most bases. One bait, I'd probably go maggots, because it's a natural bait. Places that fish heavily with artificial baits, you'll still catch, and places that fish well on naturals, you're going to catch as well. As for one lake for the rest of your life, I don't know really. I guess having just got back from Redmire, that's fresh in my mind. That would be an awesome place to fish a lot of time. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Damien Bolton, what would your dream setup be? If I'm honest, I'm not one that thinks about the materialistic side of fishing. I've had the same gear for years. If it does the job, I'm happy. So I'm not that up together with all the best stuff that's out there, but I don't know, a nice stainless set with a good set of cork rods, some nice big pits, I guess. But yeah, to be honest, I'm not much of a flashy fisherman, so that's the best I can answer that one. Brandon Crane, my question is, if there's one reason for you not to go back to a venue without naming any venues, what would it be? Pressure, stock, litter, etc. To be honest, if I don't enjoy myself, it could be other anglers. Sometimes if it's a bit clicky, or if you just have a rubbish session, sometimes things just don't click, so you don't really enjoy it. So if I don't feel the urge to go back, then I just don't. There's not normally a big reason for not going, unless it is an absolute tip, of course. Michael Jones, could you please help with hook link length? What should I use when the bites are going to be shy and low stock? Again, it all depends on the lake, lake bed, stock, the size of the fish, and like I say, if they're finicky and low stock, I don't know, I've not really ever fished places with very low stock, but from my experience recently from watching fish through the Polaroids, if it's very finicky, whittle everything down to make it as least visible as possible. As you'll see on the Redmire video, I was not picking up any fish on a simple hair rig bottom bait, braided with a leader, and I could see it all through the Polaroids, and they were just avoiding me. the whole time. So I switched over, took the leader off, just put a bit of putty on the line so it sunk nicely, and IQD rig, so really clear the hook link, and probably only about that long, and had a fish. So I'd say whittle it down, make things as least visible as possible. Steve Ball, I want to target minnows but get pestered by carp. Any ideas? I think you're looking for a bite there, so let's move on. Dave Mead, any more thoughts on doing those t-shirts, mate? Oh, my t-shirts, my logo, I sometimes wear it's a white t-shirt with my logo on. This is more of a question for all of you guys, because I've had a couple of people that are quite interested in the t-shirts. I never thought that I'd be making t-shirts that people would want to actually wear. But if you're interested in the logo and those t-shirts, please comment below. I'm not imagining many people would, but if it gets enough interest, then I will look into getting a load made and maybe sell them or do them in competitions or something like that. So if you are interested in a t-shirt, let me know, because that'd be great. Jeff Kavanagh, don't know how to pronounce it. Get pike fishing. That's not a question, I'm afraid, but I will be pike fishing, don't worry. What's your best chat up line, and has it ever worked? Lance Coldwell, when are you going to fish Crockerton Lakes? Never heard of it, I'm afraid, so it's not up there on my list of places to fish. Liam Brookfield, would you ever go fishing in Manchester? Never say never, but Manchester isn't exactly on my doorstep, I'm afraid, so not that likely at the moment. Jack Wheeler, what's your most memorable fishing moment? I'd say, well, you'll see in the Main Lake campaign, finally catching a fish after putting so much effort into it. I'd say that's currently my most memorable moment in fishing. Have you ever fallen in the lake or river? That's from Alex Marco. No, I don't think I have. I maybe got a foot wet, but that's about it. My camera's gone in the lake. That's another story. That was a mate hit my tripod and straight in the lake. That was a few years ago. Mark Britton, tips/mini demo video on leading around, feeling the donk. Imagine would be easier to demonstrate for new anglers rather than read off a forum. I've not done a lot of it. I did a bit at Redmar. I'm sure there is a lot of tips and things on YouTube. Again, comment below if you ever want me to do tip videos or little tutorials. If I feel I'm up to doing it and know my stuff, I will do it. So comment below any other things you want me to do a top-up video on, or a tutorial if you are. Lewis Clace, I hope I got your second name right. If every tackle brand was going out of business, but you had to choose one company to stay with, what one would it be and why? I use all sorts of tackle, any company, but I'd say the most stuff I normally look at straight away would be Nash stuff. I've always done well with Nash, so yeah, I guess it'd be Nash I'd save. Lewis Mackenzie, what's the best part about filming fishing videos? Good question, because I've been doing it for quite a few years. It genuinely is getting a good response from you guys. I love seeing you guys enjoying them and saying that it makes your day, or maybe not makes your day, but you enjoy seeing them when you can't get on the bank, and seeing my results, whether they're good or bad. So I really do appreciate the feedback I get from it. And not to mention, I genuinely enjoy using my camera. Very keen photographer and cinematographer, so it's just something that goes hand in hand with my fishing, really. So I just enjoy doing it more than anything. Graham Tightlines G, are you going to do any more canal carping, pre-baiting, then hopefully a carp on the bank? Yeah, definitely, if the opportunity arises. There's a few canals near me which are on the list of things to try and do. I've only ever done it once and had good success. Completely different challenge to lakes, because obviously you've got such a big stretch of water. So yeah, possibly, again, comment below things you want to see. Jordan Ackers, what's your future plans for targeting catfish, if you choose to do so? Also, do you have any other predator fishing plans? Catfish, yes, we were meant to have a good try at them this summer. Did the one session on Coking Farm Long Lake with Andy, and if you have a look at the video, it didn't go too well, unfortunately. We got a lot of carp and kind of missed the boat. We could have had catfish if we'd stuck to simpler baits and things, but it didn't go to plan. But this is certainly something I want to catch. Catfish is just a species I've never had, so it'd be really awesome to catch. As for any other predator fishing plans, pike. The winter's, well, not quite winter, just come into autumn, the leaves are falling, it's got a nip in the air, and all the time I'm just thinking I want to get pike fishing. So the pike fishing gear will be coming out soon. 17.4 I believe was my biggest at the start of this year, So hopefully my aim is a £20 plus pike, and that would be awesome. So that's the first lot of answers on the first status. Let's go to the next one. Now, I did say I was going to be doing this Q&A with Ben at Redmar. We didn't have any time, it was just fishing non-stop, and he fished the other side of the lake. So the odd question for Ben, I'm afraid he can't answer, but I'll read them out anyway. Can you ask Ben, how hard does he work on his devastatingly good looks each day, and what conditioner he uses? I don't know. All I can say is similar sort of hair. I shampoo and condition with Tresemme. I've had this question a few times, and that's pretty much it. What you see is what I've woken up with. Lee Wellesley, my question, how does Ben keep his hair so well conditioned? L'Oreal? So, another question about the hair, unsurprisingly. Phil Leon, why does Ben fish with you? Does he work? I don't know, met him at school, he liked fishing, I like fishing. He got on a video once, and people seem to enjoy seeing both of us fish, so that's why we fish. And yes, he does work at Sainsbury's. Andy Richards, could we ever see a video of you doing a week session in France? Yes, simple answer. It is another thing on my plans. I'd love to go abroad, do a bit of carp fishing in France or somewhere else that's quite notorious for carp fishing. It'd be a lot of fun, but again, time and money and things, so. But yes, definitely on the cards. Richard James, what's the best way to fish Hunt Street Main Lake? Well, I'm not the best person to ask because if you follow, well, as you will follow me, you know I've struggled tremendously on that place. But I did have my fish on a stiff hinge over a cell, so that's how I caught my fish. But tip-wise, I'm not the person to ask, I'm afraid. Third and final status, asking for your questions. Chris Fennell, bananas or pomegranate? Really? I've never had a pomegranate, so bananas. Steve Gordon, before you get to Redmar, do you already have a swim in mind that you want to fish? And if so, would you fish it even if the fish are showing elsewhere in hope they would move on in front of you at some point? If I'm honest, I had no idea what to expect with Redmar. I didn't really remember exactly how it looked. I've only seen stuff from Passion for Angling, so no idea where I was going to fish or what it was going to be like. When I got there, it's pretty weedy. We had a walk around and we all decided on swims, but you'll see when the video goes up. So that's how I approached Redmar. Brandon Crane, when arriving at a venue you haven't fished before, what's your initial baiting approach? Do you let around for so long before you feel comfortable or follow fish? Yeah, I guess I'll have a let around, see if I can find some clear spots, especially if I can see the place is quite weedy or silty, and have a look for fish. And also, if you can, talk to other anglers, people that have knowledge of the place, and people that are either there or people you know have fished there before. Just trying to get a bit of background knowledge, and it should help you on your way. Alex Marco, if you had to bring one dinner with you when you go fishing for the rest of your life, what would it be? If you watch all my night fishing sessions, you see pretty much every single time I have a chili con carne because it's one of my favourite meals. So, chili. Brandon Hudspeth, what is your favourite lake to fish? Whatever I'm enjoying it the most at the time. So, Runs Waters if you want to bend the rod, a bit of a challenge, some lakes are harder. Depends what sort of mood I'm in really, it changes, so I don't really have a favourite lake I guess. Steve Krask, how do you tackle winter carp fishing? I tend to go with bright baits, little pop-ups, and very, very little bait, just hoping to pick up the one fish. So sometimes just a single flicked out, if you see showing fish, if they are showing, cast to them sort of thing. So yeah, much simpler, much less bait. George Wheeler, when you go to the cinema, popcorn or pick and mix? Why not both? Clearly. Moving on to Instagram, I also posted on there for some questions. Remember, if you don't follow me on Instagram, get on there because I do quite a bit of stuff on there as well. So starting off, not surprisingly, the irritating ginger knobhead that is Tom Warren. He's not even going to be watching this, I know that. He's commented, is that a perm? No. Why can't you be as good as Colin and Alex fishing? Because I can. And what's 9 plus 10? 19. So I'm glad I could help you on your maths homework there, Tom. Hope that helped. Robert Mitchell, when are you next coming back up here? And he's referring to River Severn, where me and Ben went. Soon. We did enjoy our barbel fishing, so hopefully we'll get another session in. Whether it'll be this year, I'm not sure. But definitely going to be targeting barbel again in the future. We both thoroughly enjoyed that. Ty Rochester, what's your best method and bait for dead baiting for pike? very, very simple. If you watch my pike fishing videos, I do talk it through on there. Simple running ledger with a bit of trace, probably about 2 foot long, and half a mackerel, whether it's head end or tail end. Just flick that out, and that's what I've caught my pike on. Z Will Z, who inspired you to do fishing? I wasn't really inspired to go fishing. It was one of my best mates at the time. Started getting really friendly with another person when we moved to secondary school, and they were always talking fishing, and I felt a bit left out. So if I'm honest, I got into fishing because I wanted to be part of the conversations about fishing and things. Since then, one of them sold everything, hasn't fished for years, and the other one barely fishes, he hadn't got the time. So that's how I got into fishing. It wasn't inspired to, it was more jealousy. So there we are, that's how I got into fishing. The Mountain himself. Me and my mates are trying to tackle more tricky venues. Do you have any tips and baits you would suggest to use to tempt those elusive carp? So similarly to other questions, try and get as much background knowledge as you can, pick other anglers' brains. Don't want to keep spoon-fed all the stuff, because that's part of the challenge, is learning stuff. But the more you can find out from people, if they're willing to help, will help you. As for a bait, whatever you're confident in, there's so much on the market now, you don't need to ask me for what my favourite is. There's so much good bait that is out there. Just find one that works for you. Paul Zanter, your first fish ever? My first fish was probably a roach or something from a little wild pond, probably about 10 miles away from here. A little place called Priddy, if the local people may have heard of it. No fishing there anymore, because one summer I think it completely dried up because it was so hot and all the fish died. There could be still little minnows in there, but that's where I first fished. And my first carp would have been from there, I think. Proper wild carp, little sort of 5-6 pound cricketback commons with golden colour, beautiful fish. If they were still in there, I'd still go for them, but unfortunately they're not. So that's my first fish. But finding a picture of that, probably long gone. Benji Dovell, would you shave your hair to catch a British record carp? In light of recent events, I don't think I would. I feel sorry for the poor bloke that caught the fish, because he's got a lot of stick. Whatever your opinion is, I think it's a bit of a shame the way the fishing world treated that. So in a way, yes, obviously I'd love to have a British record, but if I got the stick that the poor lad got from recently, then no, I wouldn't. I want to keep my hair. Herbie, do you think you'd be taking a trip up Longleat Top Lake this winter? Simple answer, no, I'm afraid. I went up there this summer and there was so much weed. I didn't really have a good session, and it's not the sort of place I'd pop up for the winter, I don't think. I may still do the odd session in the longer months, but nah, probably not. Chris Britton, best type of carp, i.e. mirror, ghost, common. Don't think I have a preference, but if I had to choose, I guess a lovely scaly mirror. I don't think there's anything more pretty than a scaly mirror, and they're more rare than most other fish, so a scaly mirror. Bave Mod, have you had much luck catching off the top? Had my PB 28 pound mirror on fake dog biscuit a few weeks back. Yes, in the summer it's one of my favourite methods. You can see the fish, and there's nothing more exciting than seeing them take your bait on the top and your line whiz across the surface. Never had anything massive. I think my biggest off the top is just under 20 pound. But yeah, it's brilliant fun. So yeah, I have had some good success. Wim Tilson, what is your favourite Chris Yates book, and how long have you wanted to fish Redmire? I'm not much of a reader. I've never read a single Chris Yates book. How long have I wanted to fish Redmire? I've first watched Redmire fishing when I first got into fishing, watching Passion for Angling. So I've mentioned this a lot in this video, but it's because I've only just gone. So that's probably when I first started thinking that's a nice lake, but I never thought I'd ever fish it. So it was mint when I was there. Akafonzi, have you learned any Protest the Hero songs on guitar yet? Yes. Oh, where was I? Chris Burton, 88. Would you consider your hair a blessing or a curse, both in fishing and in general life? Hashtag mop chops. I've never thought of it as a blessing. And it can be a hindrance, but I've never really given it much thought, to be honest. As in for fishing and general life, it's the same in both. It's always a mess. Jamie Pankhurst, what's your favourite type of lake bed to fish over? Heavy silt, chod, light silt, gravel or weed? Snags or open water, locked up or listen to the bait runner scream? I adapt to most lakes. I guess most people would prefer a nice clear bottom, so you get a nice donk and you know your presentation's bright. You love having a screamer, but also at the same time, I've fished locked up before in snags, and it's great to see your rod pull round and you're straight to a fish. So I'm happy with either. If I'm getting fish on the bank, I'm happy. Elliot Godfrey, football team. Bristol City, of course. And that's a wrap. That's everyone's questions. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've answered some of your questions and made things a bit clearer. So please comment below. If you've got anything else, I'll answer your questions below. And anything else you want to see in future, let me know. I want to keep you guys happy, so if you've got any ideas, let me know. Another question also, I had a request the other day for me to do tips on the filming I do, what sort of equipment I use, how I film, and also my photography, how I get certain shots, like long exposures and stuff. So if camera techniques and ideas and methods is something you want to learn a bit more of, and you feel that I could do that, please let me know below, and I'd happily make a video on how to do different types of photography and filming and the lenses I use and how I do different shots. So maybe upload it on my normal channel or upload it somewhere else as like an extra. But let me know if that's something you'd be interested in watching. If not, then it's not for you, don't worry. But if it is, please let me know, because it will help me know what sort of videos and content to make. So cheers for watching. Keep your eyes peeled for Redmar, as I said. I'm looking forward to editing that and getting that out for you all to see. And I'll do another Q&A fairly soon. And always remember to keep sending in your fan cam pictures. So you send that to joseph.w43@gmail.com. Fan cam and your name in the title, and then put the pictures of the fish in the email. Highest resolution, the best, and a little brief description of the capture, and hopefully it'll be used in the next fan cam. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It feels like it's going to be very long, so I'll stop rattling on. Cheers for watching. Like the video if you did. Post some comments below if you've got any more questions. Subscribe if you haven't already. Find me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll see you on the bank soon. Cheers guys.